sleeve to hold it together. You'll notice that I've got excess sleeve left over. Now remember, this is to cover a 3-metre table. So therefore we have this excess here. And what I like to do is just place it under the table and use the little plastic strips to slip them on. If you haven't got those, just put a little bit of tape on it, just like that, just to hold it. We want them out of the way so children will not poke their eyes out on it, or the animals or whatever you've got running around the floor. We are now going to put the end assemblages on, or rod carriers. We take the right hand side, has the names of the rods that are going to go in that area. It also has the clappers. Take the hand wheel, place it through the slot in your goal post, then just tighten it off. Don't have to tighten it too much at this point. Taking our back piece, which is the take-up rod, we will then place that one on the other goal post. This is the back. And this is the front. We will go down to the other end and take our other rod carrier or end assemblage and put the hand wheel through, clipping our end assemblage over. Seem to be having a problem with this one. There you go. Right. You'll notice that there is Velcro on the back side of the end assemblage. And I've placed the Velcro down the bottom. It used to be up the top, but now we've placed it down the bottom because of the way we use our clamps. Now we'll take our trolley and place it onto our table and slide it backwards and forwards to make sure that it is rolling correctly. I'll take one of my clamps place it down here because we'll need that in preparation of putting our sewing machine on. You'll see why when we get there. I'll place the other one here. We take our carriage. Now we can place our stylus on now. Anywhere you're comfortable with it. I like it on the right hand side of the trolley, on the back side of it. So I place my stylus on, put that through, it's our pointer. Just bring that up so it's out of the way. Be careful you don't stick yourself on it. I'm going to place some plastic onto my tabletop because I'm going to do a pantograph. I've got 2 pieces of plastic, clear plastic, and I'll place that like so, and just take a bit of sticky tape and stick it down. Right, the back of the trolley overhangs the back of the frame. The sewing machine. We take our sewing machine, I have here a Janome 1600p, but you can use any sewing machine at all. It does not matter what type of machine you have. The throat area on this particular machine is 9 inches. On my Benina it's 7 inches. We take our foot control and place it under the lever first. Now, if it was a smaller foot control, like this one, I would need to build it up, and I would suggest that you use a bit of styrene from the packing. You just place it underneath I just activate the pedal, make sure it's working. Place it underneath. Then I would place my sewing machine in. As you can see, there is no way that I could have put my sewing machine, my foot control, in the carriage once the machine is on. Just central the sewing machine and then tighten the thumb screws at the sides. With the excess cord that you have, just lay it down beside the sewing machine. It's not going to get into trouble or anything like that with it. Just place your cord, you plug into the machine, says she, all the way up. There you go, at least we know it, we can't put it in upside down. And this excess cord, we don't really want that tangling around our wheels. So we'll just lay it along the edge of the sewing machine. So when we tighten our thumb screws, we'll be able to keep it in place, like so. If you try wrapping it around anything, it's just as likely to come out, and you could do some damage to it too, so try not to put too much pressure on the cords. Just tighten it and underneath. Right. And tighten your thumb screw. So once it's under there, it shouldn't come out. Put your power lead in. Now I've had one machine which the foot control was so deep, so wide, that they couldn't put the plug into their sewing machine. So what you'd have to do in that case, if the area at the back is not big enough, well, it'd be big enough but you can't put your power cord in, is to actually build up the sewing machine part. It's quite safe. You don't have to worry about it dropping off onto the floor because it won't happen. It will sit there nice and comfortably because there's virtually no vibration when you're sewing and moving the machine. It's not going to topple off or anything. So now we've come to the point where we are going to put our carriage on. Now you may need to get a bit of help with this, but what I find is that if I'm by myself, if I place my sewing machine, feet, wheels, the back wheels on first, like so, I should be right. Now, remember we put our clamps up there? We're going to wrap our clamp around the actual foot control of the sewing machine. Now the sewing machine is safe at this point. You don't leave it there for too long. We will take our take-up rod. Remember the take-up rod had an arrow, it's got its name, etc. That always goes down to the clacker end. We undo our bolts at each end and place them down here through the hole where it says take up on that end corresponds with this end. Once we've placed this on, we've put this through the throat of the sewing machine. Our machine is now safe, but if we leave it like it is now, it could accidentally fall off. Those wheels are very, very easy flowing, and they're meant to be. Okay, I'll just take this one out and do exactly the same as I did before. When we have got that machine in place, we can now adjust this end assemblage here, or rod carrier. we want our fingers to be able to just fit between the sewing machine and the rod. So we would bring our machine over here again and put our fingers underneath and drop that so our fingers are just caught underneath, then tighten it off. So now we can adjust the front one so it's level, and we've got holes at the side where it can be indicating, and you can see the machine was sliding backwards then and it didn't fall off. This one here, we would adjust it to the same height as the one at the end here. I'm just checking where I had it. 4 holes down. And there's little holes at the side where it'll actually easy to line up both ends. 2, 3, 4. Bring that one up. And we're now ready to put the other rods on. We will put our quilt top rod on. And again, we do exactly the same thing. We've got quilt top down this end. We've got the name down this end. The clackers are at this end. So obviously, it goes at this end. Once this is on, we will then proceed to mark the centre of our quilt, our leader cloths. Ratchets on back to front, but apart from that, you shouldn't have any problems. It's easy enough to turn them around. You may find that the foot control is a little bit dry, so the actual cord will not go back to its proper place smoothly. Just wipe the dust off the cord and place a bit of Vaseline on that cord area. Just a little bit, make sure there's no dust on it, and if you do that you'll find that it will actually move a lot easier. It's just that it gets a build up of dust, etc., or dries out. Now we're ready. See how nicely it moves? Now ready to mark the centre of our quilt top, our rods. And I'm just going to use the table as my centre mark, because remember this is a half table. Centre to centre. You try and use the cloth rather than trying to use any measurements, etc. Wind it up. Hear the clacking noise? That's engaging it. It's like a brake. Again, just turn it. Nice and easy. No problems at all. Take your machine down again so it's out of the way, and again we can place our strap around the throat of the machine to hold it away, just in case you've got a little bit of unevenness in the floor. Okay, so now we'll go to our quilt. Fingers between the rod and the throat of the machine, the top part of the machine, and that'll give you enough clearance. To activate the foot control, we push down on the lever. We can hold it like so, we can hold it like that. The machine will continue to go until you let go. Our quilt top is 10 centimetres smaller than our backing, and our wadding is the same size as our backing in width. So we've top to tail our pins halfway through. Take every second pin out until we come to the last pin. Put your stencil